Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about a cartridge that you could arguably say is the perfect deer and elk cartridge that also doesn't really get talked a lot about. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the 270 Winchester Short Magnum. For most of the 20th century, there were really only two 270 cartridges that you could really hunt with. Of course, everyone knows about the 270 Winchester, that to this day is still the most popular 270 caliber. Then there was also the 270 Weatherby, which is not anywhere close to being as popular as the 270 Winchester. And then in 2002, Winchester introduced the 270 WSM. The parent case to the 270 WSM is this guy, the 300 WSM. They're almost identical, and what they did was just take a 300 WSM and neck it down to 277. And it is a very good cartridge that not a lot of people have, and well, not a lot of people talk about it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the performance that you can get with the Winchester Short Mag. And when you're hand loading, look at that. You're almost getting 3,400 feet per second. I imagine you could easily get 3,350 with this, again, possibly close to 3,400. And then where this cartridge excels over the 270 Winchester is with the heavier bullets. A 140 grain going over 3,200 feet per second. And then a 150 grain, which I would use for elk if I were to hunt with a 270 WSM. And you're getting over 3,100, close to 32. So again, I think it's pretty easy you could get 3,150 out of this cartridge. So it's about 250 feet per second faster than the 270 Winchester. Looking at the ballistics, I do want to compare the WSM to the 270 Winchester. So let's start with the Winchester. And we're using a 150 grain AccuBond, and the muzzle velocity is 2,900 feet per second. The energy, very good, 2,800 foot-pounds. Recoil, it's decent. It almost is up there with the 30-06. And then let's just take this out to hunting distances that are ethical. So out to 400 yards and in, well, at 400, 2,200 feet per second. The energy is 1,600 foot-pounds. Very good. 26.7 inches of drop. So there's your classic 270 Winchester. Now looking at the 270 WSM with that same 150 grain AccuBond. Muzzle velocity of 3,150 feet per second. Check out the energy, 3,305 foot-pounds. That is basically identical to the 7mm Remington Magnum. Recoil, it's going to be about the same as the 7mm Rem Mag. So 23 foot-pounds of recoil with a 9-pound rifle. So it does kick a little bit more than your 270 Winchester. Now let's just take this out to 400 yards or so. It's going about 200 feet per second faster and has almost 300 more foot-pounds of energy. Also to note, it has about 5 inches of less drop. So there is a noticeable difference with the 270 WSM. Out to 500, you're still getting 1,680 foot-pounds of energy and only 40 inches of drop. So as I said, I think this cartridge is the perfect deer and elk cartridge. You know, you have a little bit of versatility. You could load up a 130 grain, and that guy's going well over 3,300 feet per second. And then for some bigger critters like elk, you could load up a 150 grain bullet that is matching 7mm Rem Mag performance. So why hasn't this cartridge succeeded? In fact, I would say it's kind of been a little bit of a flop. I mean, not many people are using this cartridge at all. So let me explain why I think this really good cartridge has kind of flopped. First off, it's competing to one of the most popular cartridges in America in the 270 Winchester. And it's not like the 270 Winchester is a slouch in the performance category. This is still a very good performing cartridge, especially when you hand load it. Again, it's getting 2,800 foot-pounds of energy out of the muzzle. I mean, if people are going to get a 270, most of them are going to get a 270 Winchester. Then, again, the WSM 150 grain at 3150 has 3,305 foot-pounds of energy. And then you got to realize there's the other calibers that it's competing with, the 270 WSM, not just the 270 Winchester, the very classic, very good 30-06 Springfield. And when you hand load it, a 150 grain going at 3,050 feet per second, you're having very similar performance. A little less, but I mean, the 30-06 is one of the most popular hunting cartridges in America. So you kind of ask, why get a 270 WSM when you can just get a cheaper 30-06? Everything's a little bit cheaper with the 30-06. And then I think the one that really kind of stopped the 270 WSM from ever being popular is the 7mm Remington Magnum. Shooting a 150 grain, you're going to get the same velocities, maybe a little more. So you're getting 3150, and that is the exact same, energy. 3,305 foot-pounds. And so this, I think, is the real reason that the WSM never succeeded. The 7mm Rem Mag is a lot more versatile, and I think the ammo is going to be a bit cheaper as well. But if you're looking for something different and you want a very good deer and elk cartridge that's not going to absolutely destroy your shoulder like some of the bigger magnums, I think the 270 WSM has its place.